Este es Ron con inetcomputers.com. Otro video para ti hoy. My MacBook Pro customer solution is to reinstall Macintosh. So this is a MacBook Pro A1278. I think 2010 is when it was manufactured. It has a SSD SATA hard drive, 128 gigabyte. Tested it. It's good health. It has a corrupt file system, corrupt Mac operating system. So I'm going to restore this back to factory, and I'm going to show you how. Now I'm going to use the command and the R. All you do is turn the power button on, then you hold down the command and R keys. You'll hear the chime. The reason why I'm using the command R is so that my Apple ID does not attach itself to this Macintosh. Then you're going to see starting internet recovery. I can probably zoom in too. I do not want my Mac ID associated, my Apple ID associated with this computer. If you use other ways of restoring these Macs back to factory, your Apple ID goes along with the computer, and then it gets associated with this laptop. This is a customer's, and also if you want to sell a computer, whoops, that's probably too. How about like that? And I can even move it closer. If you're selling it or like a repair, then you do not want your Apple ID associated with this laptop, because it's not mine. The reason why it's a little bit slower is because I have this connected via Ethernet, but I have it connected to my VoIP phone. I have a Cisco 7960. It has a PC Ethernet port. It might only be 100 megabyte. I don't think it's a gigabit per second, so it's probably only 100 megabytes per second, or whatever the bandwidth is, 100 megabits. But it's only a few more seconds. Now if you were to perform this over Wi-Fi, it might be a little bit slower. Just depends on the speed of the Wi-Fi, but you can perform these internet factory recoveries over the internet via Wi-Fi and landline. I don't have a long enough Ethernet cable. I need to get some more Ethernet cables, otherwise I would have hooked it up to my switch that is a gigabits per second. Eventually it'll download, and then it'll get taken to a window where you can choose disk utility, and I'll show you what you need to do. Now if you are coming across the same problem as I am, I tried to run FSCK with different options, and it just will not repair the file system. It's too corrupt, and I'm not going to waste time trying to repair the file system. I already verified with my customer that they don't care if I reinstall the OS. I always make sure that I get permission first, because you just never know. Their applications, their settings, blah 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 blah. Ashley Madison accounts, etc. ad nauseum. Because when you Americans aren't watching Breads and Circuses, like the Denver Broncos stinking it up last night against the New York Giants, well, you're, surfing Plenty of Fish and Ashley Madison, even though you're already married or you're already in a committed relationship. You need to wipe the drive, and I'll show you how to do that. You have to erase the drive, then you have to journal it, which means to format it. There's the Apple logo, and in a few seconds here, another window will show up. And then once I kick off this operating system reinstall, I'm going to go outside and get some vitamin D. There we go. So choose your language, hit enter for English. Then you're going to want to, now there, as you can see, there's multiple menu options. I don't want to get too much of a glare from the window. You know what, I could probably shut that window. but yeah, this is probably good enough. macOS 10, there's restore from Time Machine backup. I don't have that. Reinstall macOS, that's what we're going to do. You can also use disk utility, which we should do. Do this first. Go into disk utility. Oh, Macs are weird. Macs are weird. Okay, it didn't like the enter key, so you have to use the mouse and then okay, weird. Okay, so then select the drive that you want to erase where the old operating system was. Select the partition where the old operating system files were that were corrupt. So that's the Mac HD, so we're going to erase it. I've already erased it, but I'm going to just show you how to do it. All you do is click, you just choose the defaults, click erase, and then click erase again. It only takes a few seconds. Doesn't take that long at all. It's done. Then you close out of here. I think you have to close out and then go back in, and then we're going to journal it. If you do not journal it, then when you go to reinstall the OS, it says you have to format the drive. So, oh, well, maybe you don't have to. It doesn't have enabled journaling. Alright, so maybe since I already journaled it once. So close out, we're going to close out of here. Then choose reinstall macOS. I know it's Lion, but so what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to restore it back to when they bought it, and then that way my Apple ID does not get associated with this computer. Click continue, and then what I can do is once I get the operating system installed, it'll tell me that I can upgrade this Mac. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I would say probably at least Sierra. I think I'll be able to upgrade it to at least Sierra, probably Sierra, if not El Capitan. And with my customers, I try to upgrade their OSs to whatever I can. So then choose the storage. So it was all I had to do was journal it once. Okay, so then click install, and now it's gonna download files, and it's see, it's already downloading additional components. Your computer will restart automatically, and then it also has to verify that this is a legitimate Mac with a license and a serial number. I think it, I don't know, I've looking out the window. I'm getting distracted. I want to go outside already. You will get a message saying we must verify this Mac is, legit or whatever. It just takes a few seconds, and then your Mac gets verified, and then it continues on. So about 50 minutes remaining. That's too long because, again, I'm connected probably 100 megabits per second off my phone. I don't have enough. I could use the phone cable, but that's too important. I need to be able to receive calls, even though I go outside, but my calls get forwarded to my Android, and I really hate to be without my VoIP phone, my Cisco phone, the rest of today in case I get calls. I prefer that. Sometimes the calls don't ring into my Android, and I miss calls. But if it's just a half an hour break to get some vitamin D, it's all good. So I'm not going to videograph the rest of this. I don't know, maybe someday if I ever reinstall the OS on a Mac and I need to get some more Ethernet cables, and I get a long enough Ethernet cable, or I get a faster Wi-Fi router, maybe AC, I might videograph the entire upgrade process, but it's pretty boring. It's going to take, at least 30 minutes to an hour for it to download, and then it installs. But, it's just going to take too long. Although this is much faster than Wi-Fi. At least, G, 802.11g Wi-Fi. I would say if it was on a gigabit per second, let me try to think I would say at least a half an hour. I would say this would take at least a half an hour, even on gigabit Ethernet. And it's going to do that. Don't freak out. The first time I ever upgraded Mac, I saw the black screen or the blank screen, I was like, oh, no, don't freak out. It has a built-in screensaver or whatever. It goes into to save. I don't know why it does that. Also, it's recommended that you have your Mac plugged in. Anytime I ever perform operating system installs on laptops, I always plug in the AC adapter. It's got a power saving mode, but all you do is hit. You don't want to click cancel. You just move the mouse and it'll bring it back. So don't worry about that if you walk somewhere and you come back and it's a blank screen. So that's how you kick off reinstalling the operating system macOS Lion on a Apple Macbook Pro A1278, I would say 2010 model. And then I might make a video showing you how to upgrade from Lion to the now just to the most compatible, just because it depends on the hardware. I would say probably Sierra I could upgrade it to, but I might make a video showing you how to install the most current version that this hardware will support. Adios. I'm back. I came back from my little break, going outside getting some vitamin D. It was about 35 minutes, so I would say about 40 minutes from when I kicked off this reinstall of macOS Lion on this MacBook Pro A1278 2010 model. And this message showed up when I came back. You need to restart your computer. Hold down the power button until it turns off, then press the power button again. So we're just gonna follow the instructions, and then we're gonna power back on. Sorry about the reflection, but there's a lot of lighting in this office, and I don't know how else to make these videos yet. I need to get my camcorder, and I need a tripod, and I could use some kind of a staging area to make videos without reflections. You need to restart your computer. Hold down the power button until it turns off, then press the power button again. Something's failing here. BSD process name corresponding to current thread. iNet T macOS install. Something's not right here. Something's erroring out. I wonder how I can clear this. Mac is not like Windows machine or even Linux where you do a Control-Alt-Delete. I don't know. I may have to perform the install again. I mean, I could disconnect the power, but that's not going to make a difference because it's just going to run off the battery. I wonder what I could do here. I'll try it one more time. I might have to go into the utility and run a file check on it, which I shouldn't have to. This is a new install. Something happened. Something happened to it. I was out. Yeah, it's not gonna boot. Failed, some kind of error. So I'm gonna boot it into this, what is it, Command S. I'm gonna boot it into this special menu, and I'll kick off a system scan. So you just hit Command S to get into this command menu. Unix. There it goes. System uptime. Come on. MacBook Pro 8.1 kernel version. macOS version not yet set. Oh, you know what? I can't even do this because I don't think the OS got installed correctly. Well, we're gonna have to do it again. So power it off. And then power it back on, and then do a Command R, and I'm going to erase the hard drive. You don't want to format a SSD drive. Okay, well, this is going to take a little while because it's only a 100 megabit connection here. I can't pause this video either. I wish I could just pause the recording, but I can't. And I'm not going to edit the video. I'm not going to go back and cut out. No, that I don't have time for that. I wouldn't, even if I had all the time in the world, I wouldn't waste time editing video. That's fake and phony to me, and that's not natural. Just shoot a video, talk, hit record, talk, not scripted, no teleprompter, no nothing, just freestyle it. Hit stop record, upload the video, bam, you're done. All this bullshit with, you know, bells and whistles and bumper music and intro music and all that garbage and cutting out ums and uhs and pauses and all that fucking bullshit. Nah, that's not how I roll. I'm not sure why this is the first time I've ever had a problem getting macOS to install once the installer kicks off. Maybe something happened while I was outside and it was asking for a prompt, but usually it just loads the maybe the hard disk is bad. Although it, with that one program, it tested as good, 100% good health. Crystal, what was it? Crystal Info? Usually when I reload macOS, once you kick it off where I showed you at the beginning of this video, it just downloads, installs files, reboots, reboots itself, boots it to the X Windows, the GUI, and then you have to configure it and set a profile, and that's it. You're done. But maybe there's something wrong with the hard drive. I did erase it. I don't think you are supposed to format these SSD drives like a zero level format, level 0 format, 1s and 0 format, or use utilities like Derek Boots and Nuke. I don't think you're supposed to format these SSDs. But we can always try it again, even once in a while with Linux, and very rarely, but once in a while with Linux and Windows operating systems. I try it a second time and it works. Computers are weird. Every once in a while they don't succeed the first time you go and reinstall the operating system. I don't know why that is. Just weird. Very weird. The MacBook is kind of hot, but it's not overheating. I cleaned out the fan, and I think if it was overheating, it wouldn't even get this far. It would just shut off. So I don't think it's overheating. Just trying to think of reasons why this install isn't working. It doesn't really make sense at this point, but we'll just try it again. About the best you can do is just try it again. On Windows machines, whenever the first attempt at reinstalling the OS fails, I use Derek Boot and Nuke and I wipe the drive 0 level format. Even if it takes 3 hours. I've noticed that clears up a lot of problems. Alright, so it's going to boot into the utilities window. Now we have to go into disk utility. Yeah, this is weird. It doesn't accept the enter key. I don't know why that is. That doesn't make logical sense to me. Then we're going to just choose the Mac hard drive again. I've ran all kinds of scans on it, didn't do any good. Now we're going to erase it again. Come on. And then click erase. And then click erase again. It just takes a few seconds. And that's it. I mounted the disk. We don't have to journal it. You don't want to unmount it. You don't need to do anything else. Now I'm just gonna exit out of there. Then we're gonna go to reinstall macOS, and we're gonna try it again. Lion. Say continue. Maybe the internet. I don't think my internet now, because it wouldn't even load. It's nothing like that. But maybe there was a short internet outage. You never know with computers. All it takes is these things have weird timeouts. They're not all the same. Like Daily Motion, if your internet drops during an upload, it only tries 4 times. Whereas YouTube, it sits there for quite a while trying to upload your videos. So it's just okay. So here we are back here. Uh-oh. Wow, look at this. Now this fails. Earlier in this video, this succeeded and it went and it continued on. An error occurred while preparing the installation. Try running the application again. Wow, this doesn't look good. Maybe it is the hard drive. We can try it again. I've never had this many problems with Mac. Usually they just boom, 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 but it could be the hard drive's failing. It's an SSD, so they fail differently. They fail differently. Oops. Maybe that's why. Oops. I think this changed. The first time the Mac HD was first. The second time storage was first, but storage only has... Yeah, maybe I picked the wrong drive. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. Let's try it this way. Yeah, that's what it was. My bad. I picked the storage. This Mac, the 128 gigabyte, that's the SSD drive. Alright, well, look at how much time. It says 52. Here, I can zoom in and show you the ridiculousness, but it says it's going to be 52 minutes. So at least this time now it's gone down to 49. I'd say it'll take about 40 minutes because I went out for a break for about 35 minutes. I'd say it was about 40 minutes total. So at least this time I'll be able to babysit. I'll be back if this doesn't succeed again, or maybe I'll show you when it finishes and then what you have to do to just get into the GUI. You just create a profile. There's just a couple things you have to go through. Adios. I'm back. I wanted to show you that obviously the second attempt worked. So it's installing macOS 10, on the disk, Mac HD, time remaining 21 minutes. So the first time I walked away, took a break, vitamin D, came back, and I showed you that gray screen saying the computer needs to start, shut it off, then turn it back on, and that didn't work. And I erased the SSD drive again, didn't have to journal it. I kicked off the install again. It takes a lot less than 40 minutes. And then what it did was you saw a little circle, a progress circle. Then it went dark or black or blank, and I was like, oh man. Then after about 10 seconds, it booted up again, and I heard the Apple chime, and then it brought me to this screen, install macOS 10. So since it's gonna take, I would say that says 18 minutes. Probably it might be less than that. I will come back and I will just keep recording this, reinstall, and maybe someday I will have a setup where with a gigabit switch, and I will just do this all in one video, even though you're gonna sit there. But really, it wasn't that long. It said the previous dialogue was 40 minutes. Nah, it didn't take that long. It was only about 15 minutes because I watched a YouTube video and it was only about 15 minutes long. So I'll be back. I'll just put these video clips together, but I do not edit. But this is good. So the moral of the story is, if an installation fails, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Don't get all emotional. Just try it again, and you'd be surprised. Although with Macs, I usually don't have to kick off a reinstall like this more than once, but obviously I did today. And same thing with Windows. Once in a while with Microsoft, I just have to try the reinstall again, whether it's XP, Vista 7 or 8, 10, and it works. Same thing with Linux. Once in a while I just have to try the install again, and it works. Adios for now. I'll be back. I'm back. So this install is going through like normal. So you'll be prompted after a reboot and a chime. Now, a few minutes ago it said that the next step would take 20 minutes. Nah, it only took like a few minutes. And then it's gonna talk. So we're gonna choose the country, United States. Okay, to shut that robot up. Then US or Canada or whatever. Click continue, and then transfer information to this Mac. If you have important information on another Mac or Windows PC, you can transfer it up to this Mac. You can also transfer data from a time machine. We don't need to do that, so I'm going to just choose the default, don't transfer now. And then here's where you have to enter in an Apple ID, but I'll be back once I enter in my Apple ID, because I don't necessarily want you to know what my Apple ID is, because I value my Apple ID because I use it to reinstall operating systems. I charge $80 for a reinstall of Mac operating system, and then I charge extra for recovering data. But generally when I perform both at the same time, like in this scenario, I give a discount on my data recovery. But I'll be back once I enter that in and get to the next step. I'm back. So it accepted my Apple ID, and then now I have to enter in the registration information, although I don't really want to, but I don't think you can pass this. See, it tells you what is required. It let me go past that. A lot of times that registration doesn't even show up, that window. Alright, so full name. Now, sometimes I do customize this for my customers because I just do, but I don't know what their previous login was because the computer wouldn't boot. Generally, when I know what their login is and I reinstall an operating system, I just type in the exact same username, but I do not enter in a password. So I'm not sure if this is his computer or if it's his wife's, but they can always change it. So what I'm going to do is just give a generic name, just user, something generic. They can change it. And then I'm not going to enter in a password. And then I'm going to uncheck require password, and then you know what, I'm going to uncheck allow my Apple ID, and then I'm going to hit continue, and I'm going to ignore that warning. Oh, password hint. Are you sure you don't want to enter a password hint? Yes. I don't want to enter in a password hint because I don't have a password. Okay, so let me continue. This way I do not have to give them a password. They can change the name, and it will not require a password. It will, you know what I'm saying? And then as you can see, it wants to take a photo. Oh, the camera works. Wow, see? The camera works. So I'm not going to take a snapshot. Select a picture for this account? No. I'll just choose one. We'll just pick something. I don't know. What do you think? A penguin? Set time zone automatically. Let's change the time zone to not Pacific. Can you type in here? Oh yeah, you can. So we're just going to, I'm just gonna back, and then I'm just gonna delete, and then type in, how about just Denver, Colorado. There we go. And we'll just click continue. Set time zone automatically using current location. I'll just do it this way. Okay, so finishing up. To continue, scroll to the bottom of the text and click start using macOS Lion. What now? To continue, scroll to the bottom of the text. Scroll to the, I don't get, to scroll, place your pointer over the content. Oh. What does this? To scroll, place your pointer over the content and slide 2 fingers up, down, left or right on your multi-touch trackpad. This is stupid. I did that. I'm doing it. Something's not. I'm following the instructions. It won't let me scroll to the bottom of the text. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not sure at all what's going on. It's working. I've never had to do this before. I don't understand this. There's additional windows that I've never had to complete. This is ridiculous. To scroll, place your pointer over the content and slide 2 fingers up, down, left or right on your multi-touch trackpad. Scroll bars fade in to show. Well, I'm doing that. Oh, there we go. This is stupid. I've never had to do this before. I mean, why would you do that? I just want to install this for my customer. I don't want to have to register. I don't want to have to, enter in all that garbage. And then I don't want to have to mess around with the damn trackpad. Okay, now I'll click. I mean, this. So there we go. iCloud, I'm not going to worry about iCloud. You know what I'm saying? Close that out. Now, since I have you still here, obviously, I'm going to go and we will do here, let's go to about this Mac, and I can just show you. It's Mac OS 10 Lion 10.7.5. It's a Intel Core i5 2.3 gigahertz. It might be a dual core. I don't know if it's a quad core, but it might be a dual core. 2.3, let's see, 8 gig of RAM, DDR3. Startup disk, what about more info? Okay, that's good enough. Now let's go and check for updates. And see. I might have to enter in my Apple ID again. But I want to show you that you can upgrade this beyond Lion. The reason why I upgraded back to Lion was so that I don't get my Apple ID associated with this laptop. Software updates are available for your computer. Do you want to download and install them? Continue. I'm not going to install any other software. I don't install any other software. I just install updates, and I tried to upgrade my customers' Macs to the most recent, latest, current, newest version that is compatible with the hardware. That can save them a lot of time, and with Mac it's good to upgrade to the latest version. At least, I don't know, that's how I feel about it. This Mac might not support, High Sierra, but it may support Sierra, or maybe El Capitan. We'll find out here. Airport utility. Oh man, iTunes. I'll be back. I'll be back if it allows me to upgrade it to it should. I should be able to upgrade it to a more recent version, and I'll be back. You don't necessarily have to watch all this. Alright, so after those 7 updates downloaded, they installed pretty quick, and then the machine needed to reboot. You click on restart. It restarted, and now I'm back to the desktop here. So let's see if we can keep going to updates, and we can finally get it to upgrade. There should be an upgrade. I should be able to upgrade the operating system to something newer besides 10.7.5. 10, 11, 10, 12. Okay, so software updates are available. Let's click on details this time. Safari. Alright, well, I might have to install all these updates first before it allows me to upgrade the operating system. I swear Apple has changed the install process for the internet downloads, or the restoring via the internet. I swear, you didn't have to register before. It never asked you to register. What else? That stupid crap with the scroll pad, making you move your fingers and then click on I agree or whatever that crap was. Now let's see if it will come up with a major update, which would be an operating system update. I mean, Lion. Interesting. Maybe not. Maybe it won't. Let's see what we can do. Let's try it again. About software update. Let's see. I thought you could update Lion to something newer. I'm pretty sure you can. Your software is up to date. Maybe we can go into, I know there's another location. We can go to the App Store, and then in here there is updates. Wow. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I know I've upgraded older Macs that had like Lion, and I upgraded them, I would say, to at least El Capitan. So I'm gonna have to look into, maybe, I don't see why the hardware wouldn't support. It's got an i5. That could be a dual core, but maybe Apple has changed. So I'm gonna have to, I can click this again, but usually you've got some updates to Lion, and then you keep checking for updates, and then it says, oh, there's a operating system update. Do you want to update to macOS 10.11? And then you click yes. So that will require further troubleshooting. If I can't figure it out, I'm not going to make another video. I showed you how to erase the disk, and then I showed you how to get into the menu. I just basically showed you how to restore to factory a Apple Macintosh MacBook Pro A1278 2010 model. You know what I'm saying, with full instructions. I'll write a small blog post, but I'm not going to go through all the details. My blog post will just be, you know, the Control R and the Control S if you have to troubleshoot, and then showing you how to erase the disk, and then telling you might have to journal it, and then that's about it. So I went through all the process, but I doubt I'm going to continue any more video clips for this unless I can figure out how I can upgrade this Mac and why it won't give me an option to upgrade from Lion, which is 10.7. I think it's 10. Here we can go in there. I think it's 10.7.5, I think. Yeah, which I think is Lion. But for whatever reason, it's not telling me that I can update it to something newer, which is a bummer. I'm bummed even though it's not my Mac. I actually like this. I just like working on computers, man. But I'm bummed. So not sure what that is. I might have to research a little bit. So you might not hear back from me. Adios. I'm back, actually. I found a alternative way. I found out that it's hard to obtain older versions of macOS, but if you go into the App Store and go into your purchases, it lists what you've downloaded. Now, I've never purchased El Capitan, but I have supported Macs, so in some corporate environments, I have downloaded El Capitan. So I can download it again, even though I didn't purchase it. All you have to do is have downloaded it before using your Apple ID. You have to have an Apple ID. I will zoom in and show you. So what you do is you open up the App Store on your Mac. Then you want to look down. Let's see, I have to move the camera a little bit maybe. And you notice down at the bottom it says OS El Capitan. And then you click on purchased. So open up the App Store, click on the purchased link, and then it'll list everything that you purchased or downloaded. I've never purchased any of the software. I've just downloaded it for my customers. And so as long as you either purchased and or download the software, you can download it again. I guess I never downloaded Sierra or Yosemite. Now I've also found out that in order for me to upgrade to High Sierra, I have to have at least Yosemite installed. So I'm going to install El Capitan, and then I'm just going to keep upgrading it until now. The compatibility list claims that MacBook Pros manufactured mid 2010 should be compatible, so I will try to upgrade it all the way to High Sierra. If not, then at least I would say Sierra. Whoops, I don't want to cancel that. So you should be able to see that on screen. I think I zoomed in. You can see it way down at the bottom that I did indeed have OS El Capitan downloaded, and now as a matter of fact, it's downloading. You can see over here the progress bar. It's going to take a while. I'd say a half an hour, 20 minutes, and then I think it downloads it as a DMG file, and then you just install it just like you would install any other Mac software. So then I will upgrade it to El Capitan, and then while I'm waiting for it to download, I do a little bit more research, and then I'll see if I can, save time. I don't want to sit here and have to upgrade, because I'm at 10.7.5. and High Sierra is 10.13. Each 10.blank, 10.7 to 10.8 to 10.9, those are technically new operating systems. I don't want to have to sit here, and that would be 6 operating systems. I don't want to have to do that. So I want to try to circumvent and jump. But I think but this is my only, I could not find macOS Yosemite anywhere. It's not on Apple's site anymore, and it's not, maybe they're making it more difficult for older Macs. But if I can get it to El Capitan, then I might be able to jump to High Sierra. That's what I'm hoping. And I will be back, and I will, videograph that. And hopefully the final product will be a reinstalled Mac. They don't have to buy a new hard drive. I don't think the hard drive is bad. I tested it as 100% healthy with Crystal Info. I was able to recover data. I was able to, after the second attempt, install Lion, and so I don't think there's a problem with the hard drive. So we're good to go. I just want to try to upgrade their operating system to the newest, latest, and greatest, because I think they'll be happier that way. Less problems. I'll be back. We're going to install El Capitan. I'll be back. Alrighty then, we made some headway. It took a while to download El Capitan, but I will be able to upgrade this MacBook Pro A1278 2010 model from 10.7.5 Lion to 10.11, which is El Capitan. So I showed you how to download it. You log in with your Apple ID. You go to the App Store on your Mac, and then you log in. Then you go to Purchases, and then that's one way that you can download previous versions of Mac operating system that you either downloaded or you purchased. Once the file downloaded, then it prompted. It just started the install. It's not like I had to double click anything. So then we're going to continue here. And then I have to agree, and then say agree again. And then OS will be installed on the disk Mac HD, and then click install. There's no password, remember, so that's another reason why I don't set a password. I don't have to sit here and mess around. And then it should kick off here. Preparing to install. Your computer will restart automatically. Then this will really help, because then I jumped 10.7 to 4 operating systems. Then I'm going to try to jump to High Sierra. I should be able to do it, and I should be able to do it through the updates. I should be able to show you that. You can go to either the App Store, or you go into the Apple menu and go to About, or go to Check for Updates. If not, then click on Restart. So I'll just do it for it. I'll close other applications. Okay. And it should restart here in a few seconds. So at least we'll get it to El Capitan, but I should be able to upgrade it to High Sierra, which is the most current version that just came out, I would say 2 weeks ago, I think, officially, or a week, I don't know. The days roll into the weeks, roll into the months, roll into the years, roll into the decades, roll into the centuries, roll into the millenniums. So as you can see, it's rebooting. You can still see a mouse cursor, but it's going to reboot. It should go blank, and then we should hear the chime. So this is excellent news. My customer, I'm not sure why he contacted me again, because I told him, I didn't tell him when I would get it done, because I never guarantee. I learned that when I worked for IBM, Lockheed Martin, the government. Don't guarantee anything as a computer technician. But I usually tell my customers, well, in a couple days. And he already contacted me this afternoon, wondering whether or not the computer would be done today or tomorrow. Maybe because he wanted to pick it up after work. So tomorrow he said he's going to pick it up after work. So it went to a blank screen, but it should, a few more seconds and it should chime. It should chime away. Come on. There it goes. So you just have to be patient. Don't get all emotional. You know, you see a blank screen and then you don't hear anything, and your first inclination might be to hit the power button, or, you know, unplug it, or, oh my god, it's not working, or I need to hit the power button, or no, just relax. This is proverbial with upgrading operating system on the Mac. The dialogue, it might take a while. I'm not sure if I'm going to record all this, although Mac is different than Windows. Windows time is wrong. On microslot machines, it'll tell you, oh, 10 minutes to finish install. No, that's more like an hour. Mac, it's the opposite. Mac, 40 minutes, and then you come back 20 minutes later and it's done. I've noticed that. So yeah, it's got a slow progress bar, but eventually it's going to go through it. I mean, this is a major operating system upgrade. I'm upgrading this from the original, probably the factory, because I used the Command R to restore it to factory to when this computer was purchased, which would be Lion 10.7 all the way to 10.11, and then two more, 10.13. That's not accurate. It says 26 minutes, but I swear it's not even close to that. It's not even close to that. It'll sit here and tell you, oh, an hour, and then 25 minutes, and then it'll just get to somewhere around here, and then bam, it's done. But I don't want to make this video too long, so I just want to show you this, where it's at. I can zoom in here and show you. See, I don't edit video, but what I do is I have clips, and I use Linux to concatenate all the clips, and guess what? I don't have to run all these video files through a encoder. It's not like I have to put it in Sony Vegas, or what are some other encoders? I'm trying to think. Candelaria. You know what I'm saying? No. I use a Linux command that concatenates all the files. It puts them in a row, and then it only takes a few seconds, so it saves a lot of time. Otherwise you'd have to run it through an encoder, and that could take hours. That's another reason why I do not video edit. It takes too long. But I'm gonna cut here because I don't want to make this video too long. We'll be back. As soon as I see it get close, I will start recording again, and then I'll show you that it'll boot into El Capitan. Alright, so El Capitan is almost done. As you can see, the indicator is very, 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 very close to the end. So we can even zoom in here, and it should be close to finishing. And it will just reboot, and it'll boot up into El Capitan. And then I'm going to go in and try to check for updates. There might be some system updates, even maybe some software updates. And then hopefully I will be able to upgrade it to High Sierra. But if not, now High Sierra, the compatibility list for High Sierra is MacBook Pros. When it comes to MacBook Pros, you notice how it's completing installation. Oh, 9 minutes remaining. Okay, well, anyways, the compatibility list for just MacBook Pros for High Sierra are ones that were manufactured mid 2010. I don't know exactly when this MacBook Pro was manufactured. According to my research, probably 2010. But we'll find out. But at least we'll get it upgraded to El Capitan. I might try to upgrade it to Sierra if I can't upgrade it to High Sierra. And I'll show you where you go into the updates. It'll tell you which operating system upgrade is available. And if I were to try to download the file directly, you wouldn't be able to upgrade it. It would tell you this hardware is not compatible. That's why I prefer to upgrade Macintoshes via either the Apple Store or the Apple settings system menu where you can check for updates. So this could take a few more minutes, so I'll be right back. Alright, so El Capitan is finished. This is what I recognize. You can set your Mac to sign in with your Apple ID. I never do that since I'm going to release this computer back to the owner, so I select don't sign in. You don't want to make that mistake and then give back the computer to the owner and then they're logging in with your account. So I'm going to click continue. They can always change this. I'm going to say skip again. And you see the beach ball or whatever, the swirl. It'll just take a few seconds. So I guess it was the fact that I hadn't installed Lion in a while. Lion wants you to register, and then it wants you to, enter in a bunch of crap, and then blah 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 blah. Oh, and then it wants you to mess around with the touchpad, whereas El Capitan, it's going to go through this. Now, I just usually go through the defaults, so I'm not going to select send diagnostics. The customer can change that if they want. Setting up your Mac, and then we should be good to go here with El Capitan in a few seconds. Alright, so now it automatically opens up the App Store. So then I want to go to the Updates tab, checking for updates. It might have some security updates, system updates, as well as some software updates. Then once you install those, then I should see either a Sierra update or High Sierra. And then I'd like also to point out that I'm performing this upgrade over the LAN port on my Cisco phone. You know what I'm saying? Like right over there. I won't be able to show it to you. And so it's not gigabits per second. If I had this Mac connected to my switch, it would have went a lot faster. But I wanted to document this on video. Alright, so updates are available, so I'm just going to click on Update All and download and restart. And as you can see, let me zoom in and move so that you can see the progress indicator. And this is what you'll notice. You'll notice that it's installing updates. Whoops, that's too far. Right about there, I guess. And then maybe in again. Yeah, so as you can see, there's an indicator. 816 megabytes, 3 minutes. And so now sometimes you'll get prompted. You may get prompted to log in with your Apple ID. So just be aware of that. And obviously you need an internet connection. I can move the camera up a little bit. And I might order a video capture card. That's what I'm planning on, is getting a video capture card that I will install in my broadcast computer that I'm using now to make these videos and also live stream. Then what I can do is I can run a cable from the video from any computer, you know what I'm saying, and then I can capture the screen without doing it this way with the video capture card. So then it doesn't matter where the computer is set up as long as it's somewhere close by. And then I can make these videos for you all day long. And I can even split screen, and I can put my face on video in the corner on these videos, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I plan on. And then I have enough room in my office. I can make a little workbench back here in the back area, kind of like a staging area where I for my videos. And then I could always run, but it should be close to my broadcast, my recording computers for the video capture card. So I'll have to work out the details, or I might even be able to put it behind here by the window, and that'll be really close. So that's what I'm planning on. I'm already researching it. I use OBS Studio, so I want to make sure I get a decent video capture card that's not going to blue screen. And I also have to, you know, does it support Windows 10, blah 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 blah. So as you can see here, it's got a minute. Now if this was gigabit connection, this would been done already. So that's another thing I need to take into consideration. Either get really fast Wi-Fi AC, or I just need to get another Ethernet cable, and then I can hook it up to my gigabit switch, which is only I only paid $17 for it. It's a TP-Link switch that has 8 ports. I only have 1 port left. And then I'll have like a workbench slash staging area for the computers that I work on, and also computers that I videotape, that I videograph, just like this one. So I don't have to do this, so I don't have to record the actual computer. I can get a video capture card and it'll just capture the screen. Alright, so then we have to restart. So I'm just going to click on restart, and that's it. And these upgrades it's not like Windows upgrades. Yeah, it sits here and it takes a little while, but really, it's really not that long. I mean, it's not like Windows, upgrading from Windows 7 to Windows 10, or even the Windows 10. Every year there'll be 2 major updates, like the fall and the spring updates that just sit, especially at the very beginning of the Windows 10 updates. We're talking the anniversary update in August of 2016, the initial Windows 10 updates in 2016, 2015. Oh, some of them would just take forever. But you see how quick that is? It's already almost halfway. I mean, this is a major operating system upgrade. We're updating from Lion, which is 10.7, to El Capitan, which is 10.11. So to save time, I'll be back. So El Capitan is restarting, as you can see. I just got it in time, and it's just a quick second blank screen, and now you're going to see a progress indicator, and it should be just momentarily. It'll boot into El Capitan, which is a major operating system upgrade. I mean, the GUI is not much different, but there's all kinds with Macs. There's just it's a major upgrade, definitely. So a blank screen, but just be patient. You'll hear a chime. I hear the fan, so I know the computer's working. And then I will finish. We'll try it. There we go. See, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Alright, so it's in the App Store again, and then now we are going to go into the updates, and hopefully it will allow me, okay, remote desktop client. It tells you what, no updates available. Now what we can do is we can go up here and about this Mac, I want to show you that it's running El Capitan. There it is, OS 10 El Capitan version 10.11.6. Now here's what you want to look for. With the newer versions of Mac operating system, it automatically checks for an to update your OS, whereas the older school, you had to download the newer operating system, and then like I did, but it will automatically autoplay it. Earlier in this video, when I had Lion installed, I'm getting distracted. I was already in the process of downloading El Capitan, which I showed you, from the App Store. Whereas with the newer versions of Mac operating system, I'm not sure when they changed. 10. I'm trying to think. Maverick? Nah, I think maybe before. Whatever. Now, as you can see on screen, and let me move the Mac so that you can see that. In the upper right hand corner is where the Mac dialogues are now, and I'll zoom in so I can show you. It will automatically detect if there's an operating system update for you, and it depends on, you can change the settings. You can make it automatically download and install, or you can set it to notify you. I recommend that you set it to notify you, because if you're using your Mac for business and you don't want to go through a operating system upgrade and then find out one of your apps doesn't work, or so, as you can see, it says right there, I don't know if I can show that. I'm gonna have to zoom back now. Right there with the blue, it says automatically update OS. You can change the setting later in the App Store. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna turn it on. Automatically update OS. I'm not gonna turn it on for my customers because you just never know. But there is that feature. So I'm gonna say not now. But what I'm gonna do is go back into software updates and see if I can update this to Sierra or High Sierra. It's got OS 10.11. So with Mac operating system 10, it always starts with a 10. The second number is an operating system update. So 10.1.2.3.7.10. So from 10.10.10.11, that's a entirely different, technically a different operating system. It's a major upgrade. And then let's see, we can go to software. There is one software update available. Let's go see. Oh, it's Safari. See, another thing you need to remember is that you have to keep checking for updates and install them. And then when you install all of the software updates or system updates, then it will tell you that there's an operating system update. I don't want to turn those on because I don't know if the customer will like that, to have auto updates. They might want to control that, just like I want to control my updates. So it's updating in the corner. You should be able to see the dialogue right there. It's just Safari, so it's nothing major, but I'm hoping that once Safari gets installed, I will go back in here, and then hopefully there will be a High Sierra update. I have not installed High Sierra yet. High Sierra was just released, well, it's been in the works way before that, but it's only been publicly available for the last week or two. Sierra, I've installed Sierra. I've installed Lion. I think, me personally, I've installed Mac OS's. I would say, what was before? I have a list on screen. let's see, I have a list. And let me show you real quick. So here's the list. It's on Wikipedia. I think, let me think, Panther? I don't think I ever installed anything. Let me think, Panther? Maybe Leopard, Tiger, somewhere in the mid 10 dot. I know I've installed Lion. I don't know if I've installed Leopard or Snow Leopard. I have had some older Macs, but Cheetah, Puma, Jaguar, I don't remember those. I remember more like Leopard or maybe Tiger. Alright, so let's go back to our install. Safari finished updating to 11. Now it says no updates available, but I'm going to try to make it check again. And we shall see if there's going to be an update available. I want to see if I can update it to High Sierra. I can kill multiple birds with one stone. I haven't installed High Sierra, so I don't know what the changes are. Basically, the GUI hasn't really changed that much. Now it says no updates available. I'm not sure why that is. I'm gonna have to research it further. But what I can do is I can close the App Store. And see, I was researching. I should probably clear that. I should probably clear that. Come on. Okay, let me go through here and install and go here and just try it one more time. It could be that this Mac is not compatible with Sierra or High Sierra. That is possible. And then we can go back into the software update one more time. But we did get it to El Capitan. That's pretty good. So no updates available. I'm going to have to research further. Well, you know what? Can we find out when this was manufactured? Displays. Storage. Memory. Okay. 8 gigabits. That's pretty good. Gigabytes, not bits. Specifications, how about that? I want to know when it was. I don't. MacBook Pro. Really? This said, oh, 2011. I was wrong. My research told me it was a 2000. Oh no, wait a minute, 2010. Is this correct? Let's close that. Let's see. Hardware support. Come on, close. How about important information? I wonder why. Okay, I don't care about that. Service. Oh, you know what? I think I can look it up by serial number. I might be able to find out when it was manufactured by serial number. 10.11.6. Early, oh, there it is right there. Early 2011. Well, according to this list, do they even say? We can click on High Sierra, which is 10.13. I upgraded it to El Capitan, which is 10.11. Well, I'm going to have to do some further research because according to my studies, High Sierra is compatible with a MacBook Pro 2000 or mid 2010 or newer. So something's not right here. But at least we got it to El Capitan. I'm going to spend a little bit time researching and then I'll be back and then I'm going to complete my upgrade. I'm going to, put the cover back on, show you how put the cover back on the hard drive, and that's it. Alrighty, so I guess at one time newer operating systems, new Mac OSs would show up as in the updates. Now they might be changing that, but what I can do is I can download High Sierra, and if it's not compatible, it will not install. So we're going to go to the App Store. And then we're going to go to, there should be, it might even show up. Let's see, I know I checked it out before on the, or you can type in macOS and it, oh come on, Mac OS, it's right there, and I'm gonna choose High Sierra, and then there it is right there. It's under utilities, so I'm gonna download it. It might be a big download, but I just want to show you where you can go download it from. It says it's downloading, but it doesn't, it's not doing anything else. It just says it's downloading. That is strange. I would like some kind of progress indicator, not just this. Well, let's see, what can we do? That's really kind of strange. I would like some kind of progress indicator. Yeah, it's busy downloading, so. Oh, there it is. We can click on that. Okay, there we go. There's what I wanted. I want at least some kind of progress indicator. I don't care what it is, but just to see that without anything. So we'll leave it here. This says 24 minutes. I'll be back, and then I think it'll be just like El Capitan. It'll download, and if it's compatible with this hardware, this looks like an early 2011 Mac, then it'll pop up the install screen, and I won't go any further. I will go through the High Sierra, and this will be exciting for me because I haven't installed High Sierra. So this is pretty cool. I'll be back. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for, or at least I have. It finished the High Sierra download, and just like El Capitan, you don't have to double click it, you don't have to look for it in the desktop or whatever. It just opens up the installer for you, and it says macOS High Sierra. To set up the installation of macOS High Sierra, click continue. I've never installed High Sierra until now. Okay, so you have to agree, just like El Capitan, and then select the device. We'll just choose the default, no password. Add helper, I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what that was. Whatever. Ready to install. So it requires a restart. Your computer will restart automatically in 20 seconds, so we'll just kick it off. Close other applications, and just like El Capitan. This is exciting. Where's my beer? Where's my vodka? That's too controversial for YouTube. I might not get this video monetized now because of that controversial statement. So don't have to get stressed out. It's a blank screen, but now there's the Apple logo. And there, oh, look how fast that is. Look at the progress indicator. It just jumped like halfway. That's amazing. But then it stalled. This shouldn't be too long of an upgrade. We'll wait a few more seconds. If not, I can cut another video clip. We'll give it, since I've never installed High Sierra, then I'm not sure how long it takes. I don't want to sit here all day. That's interesting how it just jumped halfway and now it's just barely moving, if at all. I don't think the computer, see, this is where you don't get all antsy. Oh, there it goes. It got brighter. This is where you don't get all antsy and emotional and oh my god, oh my, what's it doing? And then people will, cut the power. No, you do not want to perform a cold boot during an operating system install or an update. Now, back in the day, Windows XP would recover itself. It would just go back and revert to where it left off. But when it comes to, believe it or not, when it comes to like Windows 7, 8, 10, nah, I don't trust that. Now it went back. Okay, installing. Okay, so it's going to take a while, so I'll be back. It says about 40 minutes. Almost done. So High Sierra installed. Took quite a while, a lot longer than other Mac OS's, but it's all good. Now it returns back to the sign in with your Apple ID. Absolutely not. And I'm just gonna choose don't sign in. The customer can change that if they want. And then skip. And it'll take a few moments here. Now let's see, enable Ask Siri. Okay, well, I normally choose defaults, but oh, Siri is kind of annoying. Let's see. Yeah, plus it's privacy. I'm not gonna enable Ask Siri. I'll tell them that I disabled it, but they can enable it. I don't know, it's one of those, I don't know. So there it is. There might be some updates. I've got some football to watch, and I'm getting hungry. So, but we're going to click on, and you see how fast that was? Checking for updates. So this is a MacBook Pro early 2011, and it is compatible with High Sierra. Now, when I studied the High Sierra, it may be that not all of the functions will work, because High Sierra includes some different functions that none of the other previous OSs have. So it could be that not all of the functions will work, but the operating system loaded and it was quick. So let's see, there are no updates available. We'll just click here and I will show you that High Sierra is installed, and boom, 10.13. It doesn't get any better than that. Doesn't get any better than that. I mean, we can even do a quick test to show you that this is pretty speedy. I'm going to do a reboot, but I mean, bam, just boom, boom. And this is probably I'm not sure the hardware, it's probably a dual core, even though it has an i5. Let's see, anyways, could be a quad core, but I'm thinking more it's a dual core. I'm going to do a quick reboot just to show you. let's see, Apple shut restart. We'll just do a quick restart, and I'm gonna force it to restart, and boom, it should be boom boom boom. And then I've got some food to eat, and I'm gonna watch the Monday Night Football game on the internet. So it went to a blank screen, and then it's gonna chime, and then the Apple logo, and load, load, load. And this time there will be no blank screen looping or blank screen failures. This is the first restart, so I'm not sure if... Bam! Look at that. Bam. I mean, bam! Now, I did read that allegedly High Sierra is faster. Like on older hardware. Somebody had almost the exact same model, and they wrote an article or blog claiming that by loading High Sierra, it made that older Mac come back to life. I mean, bam. That's it. So this is the conclusion of upgrading a MacBook Pro early 2011 A1278 from Lion 10.7.5 all the way to Sierra 10.13. I had to download El Capitan, upgrade Lion from 10.75 to El Capitan, which is 10.11, and then I had to download High Sierra. I could not skip. I read the upgrade specifications. You cannot skip from 10.75 to 10.13, at least not on this model. Then installed High Sierra from El Capitan. Bam. And then I'm not going to go through, putting the screws back and putting the cover back and putting this guy back, because tomorrow I have to recover what I'm going to have to do really quick. I ran into a problem where their external drive was formatted with the HFS file system, which is Mac. There's no date on it, but on my Linux machine, even with the root account, I cannot create new folders. I cannot copy data. Also in Windows 10 with HFS Explorer, cannot move data. So tomorrow I'm going to make a video hook. I'll have the external drive hooked up, and then I'll do that too. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take out the hard drive and install it into my data recovery computer, and then boot Linux. And then I'm going to have to copy the files from Linux to this SSD drive. And then I will just place the hard drive back in here. Attach this. Screw it down. And then I will copy the data from the Mac to the external drive. I'm hoping that'll solve that problem. I'm hoping once I hook up their external Toshiba drive, since it's already formatted with HFS file system, that then I'll be able to copy. I'll be giving them 2 copies of data. If not, I can always just reformat the drive, but it's better and easier to format it with a working Mac. So that's it, man. Adios.